an angry bird. Why is he so angry? Why is he so angry?
Actually, the Angry Birds are very happy to be on the Intel AppUp Center, AppUp.com.
So, can you start with your name and tell us who you are and what you're doing here?
I am Peter Biddle. I am the GM of AppUp. So if you don't like it, it's all my fault. And if you do like it, it's somebody else's. And we are here at CES celebrating AppUp. Celebrating some awesome things that Intel is doing around second-gen core, a bunch of other really cool things around MeeGo, and you know, look around the booth. We're doing a ton of stuff. I, of course, am most interested in AppUp, and yesterday we launched Angry Birds, which makes us super happy.
So can you tell us about like some of the other apps that we're going to find on there? So you've got Angry Birds,
yep,
which everybody loves. And what's the experience going to be like on a netbook, actually?
So right now, you know, we've been doing a lot since CES last year when we announced our beta, and we were in beta up until IDF, and now we've come out of beta. There's been a pretty significant amount of work that's hugely significant amount of work that's gone into tuning the client. We're now much faster, leaner, we're smaller. We're going to keep doing that. You know, one of the pieces of feedback we've been getting is, can you make the experience more responsive? So we're investing a lot there. In the future, we're you know, coming. We're going to be doing a new user experience or user interface framework that's going to allow storefronts to be written in JavaScript and HTML5. So the deployment of a store will be sort of akin to the deployment of a web page. We're really excited about that because that's feedback we've gotten from our partners. You know, here at the show, we've got Best Buy, ASUS, Walmart, Chroma, and these are partners that we've announced in the past. But their stores are up and live now, so you can go to bestbuy.com or dixons.co.uk or chroma.com, and you can see the AppUp store there. Those companies are also getting the store pre-installed on their devices, and that's sort of, I think, CES is really, you know, it's called the Consumer Electronics Show, but really it's a meeting of the industry and it's a meeting of partners, and that's a key differentiator for us. We're in this because we think that companies like Dixons, Best Buy, and ASUS understand their consumers and their customers better than we do, and that's why we love partnering with them. That's why we love having them sort of co-owners of the success of AppUp.
So one of the interesting things that I think about AppUp is sometimes it's very hard to figure out where you can get like safe and secure apps online, and the user experience for, say, the average consumer for finding things online can be a little difficult. So when you go into AppUp, obviously it's, you know, you can go and find a lot of different things, but for like my mom and my dad who can't download things online, how safe and secure is it? And like for like the average consumer, like when they go in, what types of things like should they kind of consider when they're going to make a purchase?
So there's basically three ways that software can go wrong. It can be buggy. For our users, right? I'm not speaking to developers, right? It can be buggy and be an unpleasant experience that way. It can be intentionally, you know, wrong, right? It can be malware, or it can, you know, that's not buggy. That was designed to be naughty, right? And the notion of sort of the licensing and the usage of the software can be unclear or inconsistent with what the consumer expects. We have a validation process that addresses those three things. So we scan all of our software for known viruses and malware, and we run it. Every one of the apps that's listed in the store today is run by somebody who's part of the AppUp and the Intel AppUp developer program, and so they're tested, right? They're tested both, you know, through sort of known heuristic analysis and performance analysis and actual running, as well as usage of the software. And so we, you know, that's part of our safe and secure assertion. Right? Obviously, you know, you could never guarantee that there's nothing bad in any piece of software, but you know, we're really hands-on with ensuring that users are protected that way. The same goes true for bugs. We you know, we expect the software to sort of work as advertised, and that means we test it and say, does this seem like it's a great video playback application? It doesn't mean we put a design restriction on it. You know, we're not interested in saying that the only right way to do video playback is this, right? Because we want developers to innovate. And frankly, if we were smarter than the rest of the development community, we'd write all the apps. We're not. They can do a better job than we can, so let's let them do a better job. But we do want the software to work as advertised. And then last, we have a licensing model that is consistent across all of the apps that are listed in our catalog. So the licensing model for netbooks and laptops is one license per user for 5 devices. So if you buy Angry Birds on your netbook and you get a new netbook, you get Angry Birds on that netbook too. It's user identity based, so you can't share it with 100 of your friends, right? And that would be cheating, we think. But at the same time, we think it's good. Like if you buy a new netbook, or you get an upgrade, or you want 2, you want one for home and one for work, or one for travel, we think it's consistent for you to be able to use that same app on that same device, right? You buy a new handset or a new tablet, you probably are getting a different version of the same app, at which point either you're getting a new license, say for 3 tablets or whatever, or if the developer wants, they can make it part of the family. But we think that's super important, because this notion of like, some apps working sometimes and not others. You get on a plane and you haven't synced in a while, half your apps don't work, half of them, that sucks. So those 3 things that we think are critically important for validation. And of course there's a 4th, right? Sort of the notion of societal decency, right? We seek to make sure that our apps are compliant with local law. We don't impose editorial as it relates to content outside of that. So, if somebody were to write an app that we thought was offensive but was clearly not illegal and was not inconsistent with our terms of service, that app gets through.